Welcome and good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's again Dr. Roy here, and we want to talk about some topics. You see, these days we've been talking about some things, and the reason I bring these things to your table is simply because when I sit down with my clients and we start talking about things, they come for counseling, but I come to discover that some of these things are not just because they happen, but it's simply because one or two things has really manifested in their relationship, and it ends up being in a situation whereby one mistake is made, and when you want to cover up a mistake with another mistake, it becomes a problem. Now what I want to talk about now is very simple. It's a very big topic, but I will crash it down so easily so that we can be able to talk about it freely, and then you get to understand me. Now, we want to talk about why familiarity breeds contempt in relationships. It is something we need to really put into consideration. First of all, I want us to start talking by this. I want to start saying this. If you have not had the opportunity to visit us at our office space to be able to talk to us or counsel with us online, then it becomes a situation where you can reach us. We have our information on the screen. And before we continue, just make sure you click the like and share button so that we can be able to interact. And you forward this to many people who needs it. Recommend our pages. We might not be the best English speakers this day, but we are trying to make sure that we can put things in place and make sure we can reach out to you with the little experience we've gathered. Now, why familiarity, or how familiarity breeds contempt in relationships? First of all, we have the lack of novelty. You see, over time, people have come to me to tell me about a lot of things that has been happening in their relationship. But at the end of the day, I come to discover that the person you used to value, you used to admire being so close to, you become too used to the person and start taking the person for granted. And this is something that has destroyed a lot of relationship. You always wanted to be in the person's presence. The person always wanted to be in your presence. You always wanted to see the situation that you meet up with this person every time. You want to be wherever. You want to feel his or her smell. You want to get something out of it. You always want to cherish this person. But as much as time passes, as you see life going on, you tend to get used to, at one point in time, it starts out with a little kind of funny place, a little kind of taking things for relaxing mode. You don't tell the person any longer that this is how things are, this is where things are supposed to be. But you start taking the person for granted. How do you do that? You talk to the person anyhow. You start miscommunicating with the person. You do not appreciate the person where you ought to appreciate the person. You do not show that love you used to show to the person where you started. Before, you used to serve your husband, for example, you used to serve him with a plate of soup on the table, but now you ask him to go and dish for himself. Now, after some time, you get too used to the man or to the woman, and then you discover that the little things you used to share in common now become something that you take it as a right to do anyhow. The day a little disrespect starts coming into the relationship, that is the day where you become too familiar with your partners. I do tell my friends and children, family members, and even loved ones, I say, see, please do me this favor. I am very simple, very easy, but don't get too used to me. Because the day you get too used to me, that day you start taking me for granted. And the day you take me for granted, that day you discover that some things that I could also do for you, I stop doing it immediately because I see it as a sign of disrespect, which is what happens in our relationships. Most of us, because we start taking each other for granted, it becomes a source or a means of disrespecting our partners. And once we start disrespecting them, whether male or female, it becomes a problem in our society. Because I have seen cases of such that have ended up with divorce. Some of these have ended up in divorce. Why? Because most of the people, one party feels right, the other party feels wrong. feels right, and the both of them, nobody will come to a compromise to wants to understand that this is what is happening. So we should always try to see that in our relationships, we try not to get too used to each other. Not that you should not know your partner. No, that is not what I mean. Know your partner, know his likes, know her likes, know her dislikes, know his dislikes. Know the thing that makes them happy and the things that make them sad. But never ever take them for granted. Never ever use the fact that he is your husband. You will do to him anyhow. I discovered something. Let me give you a simple scenario. In the homes of today, when a lady and a guy starts dating, it becomes a situation. I want to speak for the guys. Now, once a lady and a guy starts dating, you discover that this lady in question becomes so submissive, and she gives the guy, once they know that they are going to a level where they are going to get married, she does everything to give the guy the best of respect so that he will be able to present her as what he knows she is. But after a while, when they have gotten married, remember I said I'm speaking for the guys now. After a time when they have gotten married, it becomes a situation whereby the lady who used to kneel to give him water to wash his hands or give him food to eat, that same lady now asks him, go take your food. Your food is on the microwave. I am tired. I don't feel like cooking today. You go to the microwave and make something for yourself. Even make noodles. But when they go to church, they kneel down for daddy. That is the pastor. They kneel down for the pastor. They kneel down, they do this, they do that. Oh, daddy, I just want to wash your feet. Daddy, I want to do this. No, that is wrong. Whatever you cannot do to your husband, you cannot do it to the other man. Most of us men, we have this attitude of talking to our wives anyhow too. It is something, now I'm speaking for the women, it is something that we should put it into consideration and try to see how we can work out something perfectly. Because if we start talking to our wives anyhow, if we start acting anyhow, she too will end up feeling the pain. Sometimes we break their hearts without even knowing we are doing that. Why? Because we feel, after all, is she not my wife? It's the same as they say, after all, is she not my husband? We will meet in the house. No, you both were not born of the same mother. You both are not brothers and sisters. You are from different backgrounds that have come together to see that you can push things in a way that each other will benefit. That is a relationship. That is a home you are building. So, for familiarity not to come in, you need to treat each other like the very first day you met the person. If you see that you could kneel down to greet the person, do it. If continue doing it, don't do something today and not do it tomorrow. If you see that you entered the house today and you have to clean the whole house, wash the dishes, wash the clothes, continue doing it. Don't stop it. Let it be you. Don't do it because you have to pretend so that you should be accepted in the family. No, it is wrong. And for you, the man, once you know that you could buy her shawarma, you could buy her soft things, you could take care of her, continue doing it. Don't get too used to each other. That is what I am saying. Because the more you get too used to each other, you will take each other for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to talk too much today. As I said, I want a situation where we get to understand that the more you familiarize with yourself or with your partner, please make sure you put into consideration the lack of novelty. Make sure you put into consideration focusing on the negative. Some of us, we start looking at the bad side of the person. Everybody has a good will. Everybody has a good side. Everybody has a bad side. Everybody has a weakness. Everybody has a strength. If because you discover that, you start focusing on the negativity of your partner, it becomes something that you end up destroying your relationship. You will end up putting yourself at a spot because you cannot manage the little things that makes him, or you cannot manage the little things that she does that is not worthy of it. So put it into consideration and make sure you win back your husband. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a short briefing for why familiarity breed contempt in a relationship. It's a book I have written, and I'm still working on other things concerning it. Then you can be able to come. But if you need counseling, again, I insist, come to the office. Our informations are on the link. You can get to us via our bio, and make sure you talk to us freely. Like this post, share it, and please don't hesitate to call us if you need help. Thank you very much, and God bless.